Hello guys, my name is Adam Shadow, and this tiny machine behind me is the fastest pistonless basalt generator possible in Minecraft, at least in the newest snapshot 20W13B. In this snapshot, we are capable of generating basalt, which is basically a new type of stone. It behaves in a lot of ways like stone. Sadly, you cannot use it in crafting. It looks like this, but when you place it, it places like pillar blocks or wood, and you can. It has a top and bottom side, and uh, the four sides around it, which allow you to place it in interesting ways, which is pretty much the only use for it as a decoration. Here, this machine uses a very simple method of generating it, which Mojang thankfully provided us, and that is having soil with blue ice next to it, and when you let lava flow on top of it, it will generate one block of basalt. This completely obviously breaks the law of conservation of mass or energy, but this game does that every time in pretty much most mechanics. So, why does this machine look like this, and why does it create this awful noise? That is simple. This machine tries to collect all 5 blocks that generate like this. When you break them, the items tend to fly to the sides, and since these sides are commonly filled with lava, like this, you can get the item to fall into the lava and get destroyed. Therefore, I have under each of these 3 blocks, which are 5 times here, I have one hopper minecart. Hopper minecarts can pick up items that are within themselves, within the block above them, and that lie on top like this. So let me demonstrate how reliable this actually is. I break one of these dispensers and throw it, for example, the soul saw into it. And as you can see, I have it here. Let's try that again. Yeah, so even when I try to destroy the item like this, it does not allow me to, which is always an advantage if you have machines that never lose items. Now, why am I even bothering with so much lava? Like, this already should work, and as you correctly guessed, it does. As you can see, this already generates quite a lot of basalt, so if you just want like a super simple version, this is enough. Sadly, as you can see, even with my mediocre clicking speed of around 11 clicks per second, I'm quite quick enough to break these blocks, and if I had more reach, I could even break the glass block behind. Which obviously, this doesn't seem to be so fast. That is understandable, and therefore I use a technique shown by Raceworks in one of his videos about generating basalt. He used a bit simpler machine and definitely a bit less efficient, since it didn't use as many hopper minecarts, which would cover all of the space. And that is to change the timings between 2 rows of lava. The way lava spreads, it basically spreads every, I don't know, half a second, every second, for example. and then it has to wait again to spread again. However, if you have two sets of lava with a delay in between, in this case it's 6 game ticks, which is not the perfect delay. The perfect delay would be 5 game ticks, since when you are instantly mining, you are basically mining one block every game tick. That means 5 game ticks would be the ideal delay, but 6 game ticks is still enough. And in Ray's video he used 4 game ticks, which is not perfect. It still probably does the job well enough, since you are never going to perfectly instantly mine in multiplayer servers, since there is lag and stuff like that. And you probably don't even need perfect efficiency of this setup to achieve it. So, why am I not using just a single lava source? Why do I have 10 dispensers here instead of just 2? That is also quite simple, because lava is quite random. As you can see, when I place it on this platform, I let it spread a bit, and then I will destroy the source. You will see some irregularities in the timings. As you can see, it's already not flowing at the same rate down in all of these columns. And you can also see it, like it disappears. It didn't disappear everything at once. Therefore, if I would use a single source, I might get the case where some of these flowing lava blocks did not generate with the perfect timing. And when they generate with enough of an offset, they pretty much return that dispenser into, or the place where the basalt is generated, into the same state as you saw before, with as if there would be just one lava source, which is obviously not ideal, and it hurts the efficiency. Therefore, I decided to use 5 lava sources on each side, therefore they always spread at the same time. I also used a way simpler technique to activate it with some delay. I just put a weighted pressure plate and cobweb above it. Therefore, as you will see shortly, when I throw an item into it, it will take some time, and I can then jump down here and align myself properly to mine it. The way I got these minecarts in is rather simple. I can show you a set of, let's say, 3 of them here. I just place them in. If you use 4 or 5, you will get them moving into each other, which is quite annoying. Then I put my blocks. On the sides it was glass, and in the center it was soil. You need to use soil, not sand, which was a mistake I did when I was first trying out this concept. Now we just need a source of power. And by pushing the blocks on top of the minecarts, they don't get moved into any direction, since the block is moving from the top and they are already colliding with a block that's underneath them. As they are set like this, you cannot move them from the side, and they also don't fall out. If you remove this block, then they can move out, as you can see right there. So I have to keep those. I solved the issue here by using a trapdoor, so I can still stand on top of it and hit the basalt that's generated. This is just a really trivial hopper setup down below. You need at least 2 hoppers, probably even more. Like 2 hoppers can deal with 20 items per second, so that theoretically should be enough, but I think this is much simpler to build than trying to align 3 minecarts on top of 2 hoppers. But if you really want to somehow reduce lag, then you could, for example, do something like this, where you would push the minecart sideways into anvils, or for example chests, or something else that's not completely a full block on the side. Therefore, even these minecarts would partially rest on this hopper. But in my opinion, this, like I said, is simpler, and it's also safer, because you can be sure that at no point the hopper is overflown, since you have a lot of excess capacity. And since the size of this machine is really comical, you don't really need to worry much about lag. If that's your main goal, then remove the hopper minecarts that are here and just add another row of hoppers, or move this one and replace it here with droppers, and here you will need another one. That's also definitely an option, but this is, in my opinion, a lot safer, since, like I said, the items can be picked up even if they are, for example, touching the top of this block. So, now let's demonstrate how this works in survival. Oh god. I hate the new system of having to use words for everything. Now I give myself a pickaxe, which I should have done in creative. That is enchanted with efficiency. Five, and I also need a beacon that gives me haste too. You can also use the netherite pickaxe, since this is the best option in these newer snapshots. Let's build ourselves a nice pyramid for the beacon. And while I'm at this, I would like to ask you guys to write me down in the comments if you want to see more of these videos from the newer snapshots. I of course will not be able to provide you with such complex machines and that are so useful as in the older versions, since it generally takes time for people to discover these things, and it's also difficult for me to stay up to date with all of the snapshots since they are released quite often. But if you really like it, I can try at least to optimize these tiny farms for the new items. For example, there are farms that give you the fungi and the vines and similar things. Or for example, you can also use the zero tick farms, which are also a nice thing I could maybe look into. Now let's get the enchanting done. Now, to start this thing, you just come close to this cobweb, press Q or whatever button you have assigned to throw out the item. Then you go down here and hold left mouse button. This will obviously take some time, and you also, but this at least allows you to not have to bother with being scared of destroying the blue ice. And maybe I think I missed through the item. Let's try that again. I need to be really close. As you can see by the sound and the particles, I'm really quickly mining the basalt. Also my pickaxe is being destroyed very quickly. I'm sadly lacking the tools to measure how exactly fast this is. Maybe someone who is a bit more talented with the command box can do actual test if this is perfect instant mining, but this is definitely the fastest way to do it without using pistons. And using pistons adds a lot of additional complications, such as clogs, and it can, for example, break itself with the incorrect timings of the lava, especially when you somehow rely on the lava flowing at a specific time. As you can see, the items always get picked up. There are no losses in this machine. Even if the block generates in the item while it's in the air, the item does not have enough time to fly off out of the machine. As you remember in my super fast stone generator video where I use 0 ticks, that's sometimes a significant issue. Now let's look at how much we created. As you can see, in the first chest it's obviously the most. It's still loading. It's quite an even distribution. You could obviously hook this up, each of these, to one of my, for example, double speed or even the 8 times speed box loaders, and therefore fill your shulker boxes. But I think this is probably enough for this demonstration. I hope you guys liked my video, and if you do so, please like it down below, also on YouTube. Subscribe and activate notifications, because YouTube uses a weird system of notifications. When you don't activate them to send all of them to you, they will only send them sometimes, and that might be an issue if you don't want to miss my videos. So that's about it for today. Bye!